The snake camera rounded a corner. Inside the vent, something in the dark was already looking back. Welcome to the Black Archive. Let's begin. I moved to Astoria, Oregon in November of 2023. The divorce had finalized 6 weeks earlier, and I was hemorrhaging money, attorney fees, the settlement, a storage unit in Portland holding half a life I didn't want to look at. I found the listing on Craigslist. Half of a partitioned Victorian duplex on Exchange Street, 3 blocks from the river, $800 a month. The house was 140 years old. The landlord, Phil, lived in Beaverton and managed the property by phone. He told me the building was originally a single-family home converted into a duplex sometime in the 70s. They just framed up a wall down the middle, he said. You got your side, the other tenants got theirs. I asked about the other tenant. Phil said the unit had been vacant since August. I took it anyway. I'm a data analyst working remote night shifts for a logistics company on the East Coast. My hours were 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I slept from roughly 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. I was awake, alone, in a 140-year-old house, every single night, while the rest of Astoria slept. The Pacific Northwest winter hit, like a door slamming shut. It rained for 11 straight days in December, not drizzle. Heavy, relentless sheets, hammering the roof, so loud I couldn't hear my own music through headphones. The wind off the Columbia River pressed against the west side of the house, like something leaning on it. The first time I heard it, it was 4:02 a.m. on a Wednesday in mid-December. I finished my shift, climbed into bed, and turned off the lamp on the nightstand. The room went dark, and from inside the wall, directly behind my headboard, I heard it, a soft rhythmic sound, thump, drag, moving vertically, like something pulling itself upward between the studs. 15 seconds, then it stopped. I lay there with my eyes open. The rain was loud. The house was old. I told myself it was the plumbing. This place had original cast iron pipes, or maybe a rat. The walls in old Victorians have gaps. I rolled over and went to sleep. It happened again the next night, same time. Right after I killed the lamp. Thump, drag, thump, drag. Slower this time. Like whatever it was, knew I was listening. I banged the wall with my fist. It stopped immediately. I Googled sounds in walls, old house at 4:30 a.m. Thermal expansion, rodents, raccoons in crawl spaces. I felt better. I went to sleep. In January, my ex-wife Sarah drove down from Portland to drop off forwarded mail. She was inside less than 5 minutes. She wrinkled her nose the second she walked in. It smells sour in here, she said, like something unwashed. She opened the cabinet under the sink, sniffed. Check for mold mark, seriously. This is not healthy. I told her the house was old. She gave me a look I recognized from 4 years of marriage, the one that meant I was being willfully stupid. She left. I bought a can of Lysol and sprayed the kitchen. The smell didn't go away. 3 weeks later, I dropped a coffee mug. It rolled under the lowest kitchen cabinet, the one built flush against the shared interior wall. I got on my hands and knees, reached underneath, and my fingers found the back panel. There was a hole, perfectly circular, half an inch wide, drilled cleanly through the panel, into the wall cavity. Behind it, I grabbed my phone flashlight and looked closer. Around the edges of the hole, pressed into fine white drywall dust, like they were placed there deliberately, were human fingernail clippings, 6 or 7 of them, fresh. I sat on the kitchen floor for a long time. The rain hammered the windows. I didn't call anyone. I know how that sounds, but I was behind on rent. I had nowhere else to go, and part of me, the desperate part, was still trying to build a rational explanation out of nothing. 2 days later, I bought a $20 snake camera from the hardware store on Commercial Street. USB, connects to your phone. I waited until 3 a.m. I unscrewed the return air vents in the hallway and fed the camera into the shared wall cavity. The image on my phone was green and grainy. Insulation, dust, old wiring. I pushed the cable deeper, maybe 4 feet, and the camera rounded a bend in the ductwork. The infrared light caught a face. A human face. Gaunt, filthy, wide-eyed, less than 2 feet from the lens, grinning. For 1 second, we looked at each other through my phone screen. Then a hand shot out and grabbed the cable. The image jerked, spun, went black. The wire yanked hard enough to rip the phone from my grip. I don't remember leaving the house. I'm told I ran across the street in socks and boxers, pounding on my neighbor's door at 3 in the morning until they called 911. Astoria PD arrived in 12 minutes. They cleared my unit. They brought a pry bar and opened the shared wall from my bedroom side. The person was gone, but the space between the walls, a gap maybe 3 feet wide, running the full length of the house, was not empty. They found a nest. Blankets, food wrappers, a plastic bucket, a pile of my clothes, shirts, socks, a hoodie. I thought I'd lost in the move. The smell hit the officers hard enough that one of them stepped outside. On the floor of the nest, weighed down with a brick, they found a hand-drawn map, detailed, precise. It showed the crawl path from my ceiling, through the shared wall cavity, into the HVAC ducts, and across to the other side of the duplex. The unit. That isn't vacant. The unit where my neighbor lives, with her 8-month-old daughter. The crawl path on the map was marked with small X's, 14 of them. The officers counted them twice. I'm writing this from a motel off Highway 30. I don't sleep with the lights off anymore. I don't sleep much at all. Phil stopped returning my calls after the second message. The police never found anyone. That closes tonight's file. If something in this story felt familiar, if you've heard something you couldn't explain, submit your story to the Black Archive. Click the tape on your screen now.